almost rainy season na.
Ready na ba kayo? Ang mga farmers natin, ready rin kaya?
Do you know that according to Pag-asa's website, the Philippines is a tropical country characterized by relative high temperature, high humidity, and abundant rainfall.
Tsaka alam nyo rin ba that the country's climate is divided into two major seasons? One is the rainy season from June to November, and two is a dry season from December to May.
In an article published by National Geographic, weather condition is now affected by global warming and climate change, which means that the weather pattern is more chaotic than the past decades, or simply, it is unpredictable. At di pa nagtatapos dyan, warmer atmosphere affects our Earth's water cycle, and the result, heavier or intense precipitation.
Pero bakit nga ba natin ito pinag-uusapan?
Most farmers in the Philippines relies on solar drying, which is the most traditional way of drying their harvest, like palay. Based on World Bank data, in 2022, global cereal production reached 3.06 billion metric tons. Meanwhile, the Philippines contributed 28,012,590 metric tons from this total. Diba? Ang laki? But it is important to note that according to the published study entitled Potential of Mechanical Grain Dryers in Addressing Exposure of Rice Farmers to Weather Risk, from harvest until storage, the total post-production losses of rice are 14.4%. And 30% of this are due to drying loss. Kung iisipin, isang malaking kawalan din yun sa mga magsasaka natin dito sa Pilipinas. Lalo na't dagdag pa sana ito sa posibleng nilang kikitain. So paano ba natin yun maiiwasan? So Food and Agriculture Organization published a book, Rural Structures in the Tropics, which serves as guidelines to improve food production through facility development. And NFA facility is one of those facilities.
To safely store our crops, it is vital to remove unnecessary materials and contaminants that will cause spoilage and reduce the quality.
For safe storage, these are the factors that every facility must maintain. The MC, or the moisture content, relative humidity, the EMC, and temperature. Next is the drying system. Drying systems are divided into two main groups, the natural drying and the artificial drying.
Field drying, isang example ng natural drying. Isa sa pinaka-traditional na ginagawa ng mga magsasaka sa Pilipinas. Isa na rito ang pagbibilad sa araw para mabawasan ang moisture content ng isang produkto at mapahaba ang shelf life nito. Isa rin sa natural drying ay ang pagkakaroon ng struktura na may sapat na air ventilation upang ma-maintain ang kalidad ng produkto at sapat na mabawasan ang moisture content. So this is one of the example of artificial drying facility. Artificial drying provides faster indoor drying in a controlled environment. The product is exposed to forced ventilation of air, which is heated to a certain degree in special appliances.
So this is a fully automated mechanical dryer.
Ang dili na siya automated is katong makuan kay kuan siya. Biofurnace, ibig sabihin ang rice hull ang panggatong. Ano siya? Kung mag-input ka, ito yung ito yung pre-cleaner. Yung pre-cleaner, yan sa mga ito, i-connect siya. Ibig sabihin sa input, pwede ka na mag-input natin yung mga elevator na gano'n. Pero pwede mo din i-flow sa input, yung mga impurities, ilabay na niya kanan.
So we are here with Sir Neri from NFA Kabakan, no? So, sir, can we ask if gaano ba ka-importante na ma-maintain ang moisture content ng ating grains, grain crops po, sir?
It is important kasi, for example, yung maximum natin na moisture content dapat sa grains, especially sa palay, is 14. Yun siya yung desirable moisture content na pwede mo siyang ma-stack yung palay, no? Yung mas mababa, hindi naman yung mababa masyado yung 10, hindi naman maabot ng 10. yung mga 14 to 12.5 siguro na MC, yun siya ang desirable na i-store dyan sa ating dito sa warehouse natin. For example, yung moisture content natin is nasa 13.5. Yun siya pinaka-importante na moisture na range from 12.5 to 14, kasi for example i-stock natin yung palay natin dito for example 3 months, 6 months or 1 year. Una-una mapapreserve natin yung palay natin in terms of for example siguro yung lifespan niya na hindi siya maging discolored. Yung meron kasing sinasabi na discolored. Yung discolored is yung mag-yellowish yung palay natin. If 14% above yung 14.1 above yung moisture natin. Then pangalawa is yung damage. Yung damage iba-iba kasi yung klase yung damage. May damage na broken siya kung gigiling na siya. Then may mga damage siya due to insect sa peste natin sa palay. Marami tayong kasing sinasabi, marami tayong klaseng mga pest sa palay. Kaya dapat i-maintain natin yung moisture. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Yung broken naman, ay yung sabi ko sa inyo na dapat hindi masyadong bababa yung MC kasi prone siya sa broken kung gigiling na siya for the future, no? Yung pest naman is if yung moisture natin is mataas, madali siyang mapipeste, no? Yung peste kasi depende sa peste na ma-attract dyan sa palay natin. Yung may mga primary pest, may secondary pest. Yun yung mga primary pest talaga yung mga iniiwasan natin ng pest sa palay natin. Kung ang MC natin is masyadong mataas, yung primary pest talaga yung ma-attract dyan, no? Yun yung pinaka-importante sa maintaining the moisture content na 14% below, no? 14% below. Yung una-una yung discolored, pangalawa yung broken, tapos yung pest.
So, yun yung dapat tandaan for maintaining the moisture content of So, nakaka-apekto siya sa characteristic ng palay natin. And also, para mas mapatagal pa ang kanyang shelf life. So, I am Remnan Caballero.
I am Blaser Moen Cortez.
Lamang ang may alam.